Now, what we're going to look at next is Knifehead, the kaiju that they have offered in the toy line. Knifehead, as you can tell, is pretty much a knife head. He kind of looks like a goblin shark. A lot of people online, especially if you're, in the Godzilla community, thinks he looks like an ode to a Gamera character named Giran. As for this figure is far more solid than the two Jaegers. He's actually just a solid base body. The mouth does move to give you that kind of cool, roar sound. He has two vestigial...
Sorry, Chris, why don't you, with your other hand, do the mouth movement so I can get a nice shot of that.
All right. You can see. Monster move. It holds pretty well, too. The joints inside the mouth are fairly solid. So, depending on how you want your monster, you like your monster roaring, you like your monster just with his tongue hanging out. The paint detail is fantastic on this figure. As you can see, he's got the little, what looks like tribal tattoos going around him. But from what I've seen from the publicity material of the movie, that is actually its blood. They're phosphorescent. So that's...
like Avatar.
Yes. So that's up in front. The paint that they use pops really well for the figure, too.
It does. The fact that those, I don't know, let's call them veins, right? That they're supposed to be, it's supposed to be like a phosphorus glowing blood that's running through there. For a figure that does not light up in any way, they did a great job of, giving us that good paint that was going to pop right off of the dark color that the figure is.
Yes. The back pretty much is it's a centerpiece. It does not come off. The tail is a rubberish plastic to kind of move and bend. It's mostly used as a stand for the figure. As for standing, the figure has no problem holding itself up. The legs pretty much only bend so far, as you can see. But the figure is so top heavy and the arms are so big that even when you set it down and the legs are all the way back, the figure will stand in some sort of attack position. It has two, like I was going on before, it has two vestigial arms that do not move, which kind of is a bit of a bummer, but for a figure that's this nice, I can forgive a thing or two. The main arms do move up and down. There's no ball joints in the shoulders. So that was a minor complaint on my end because I would like to have some grabbing action when I'm playing with these things with the Jaegers. Other than that, it's a solid monster figure. Comparing the fact I have a long line of monster figures, especially some from Japan, that are just pretty much solid vinyl. NECA has done fairly well with this. I'm curious to see what the other, wacky creatures they come out with the other lines.
Yeah, like you said, the posability is a disappointment because all the monster can really do is kind of high five the Jaeger, right?
Yeah,
based on that pose you're looking at right there. If we're playing using our 8-year-old imaginations, we can definitely take it a lot farther. But as far as if maybe you want to set up a diorama or just kind of a display in your home when you're not playing with them, it does really limit your choices.
It does. But other than that, I can forgive that portion over the beauty of the sculpt.
Yes.
So that's NECA's bread and butter right there, and especially as you saw with the Gypsy Danger, they are on top of that. And the final figure of the set, we're going to look at the second Jaeger, Crimson Typhoon, the Chinese Jaeger in the film.
Those Chinese, Chris, they copy everything.
Yeah,
and
they
then
do.
Put a spin on it.
As for the designs of the Jaegers, I probably would have picked... telling me that they picked this one probably tells me that it's going to play a bigger role in the film. But, as for the other designs that I've seen, I rather would have gone with the Australian Jaeger.
I would have loved to see the British one.
There is no British one because they don't sit on the Pacific Rim.
Oh. So I'm thinking the Australia one.
You're thinking the Australian one.
Because they got that flag that's almost like the British flag.
Yes. And it's probably that one's probably the most mechy of them all. But we have Crimson Typhoon.
So here he is. So we got a robot, Jaeger mech.
Well, it's a mech. Yeah.
Right? With basically chicken walker legs.
A
third arm. I don't mean that in the dirty way.
Yeah.
And
the main little claw arm right here.
Yeah.
So from what I understand is this main arm has in the movie has the plasma cannon that solders off the Jaeger or the Kaiju's wounds, so that way the blood's not getting everywhere. So kind of the blood's very poisonous.
Right. It's like toxic or something.
Yes.
Right?
As for the figure itself, as you said, it's got chicken legs. Which makes a little bit of a problem when you're posing because he's very top heavy. He does bend at the waist, as you can see, and thus, there you go. He starts falling down. His arm, go ahead, George. His main arm is fully posable. You can get fairly good up and down motion, left, right, bam. The head, if you can call it a head, is fully posable up and down as such.
Basically you call it a camera head, right?
Yeah.
Basically just a head looks like a giant camera.
I call it the Cambot head if anybody watches Mystery Science Theater. The one thing that did bother me when I popped up in this figure, again, NECA did a great job sculpting it, but posability is an issue with this one with me, more so than the Kaiju.
Right. I mean, and if you look at it, I mean, look at the video you're looking at right now. You can see very clearly that he's not standing up properly.
No.
It's almost like he's about to do some sort of, like an old school breakdance move where you kind of go down on your knees with your feet split to the side, because his feet aren't flat to the ground.
Now, some people want to be online. It's like, yeah, you're doing it wrong. See, he'll hold up there, but he is top heavy.
He looks like he's getting ready to take a dump, Chris.
Yes, I have had issues.
He can't hold it.
I've had issues having him stay upright in certain positions. Now, that's not because of the weakness of the legs or anything. He's top heavy and his legs are just very awkward.
I think that's what the third arm is for, Chris, is to hold in the poop that he's trying not to let out.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my issues with this figure, is the third arm action. The third arm has a ball joint, as you can see, and the hand moves, and it moves at the elbow. It's the main arm. This is a straight up and down. See? Bam. Bam. Does not move left to right. Pardon me. And that is an issue for me. I would rather, I can't tell if a ball joint was not possible at all in this figure. But, if it was, it would have been nice, because that way, much like the Kaiju figure, I would have liked some gripping action. It almost looks like he's about ready to do a limbo right there. Other than that, he's beautifully, I would say he's more detailed than Gypsy Danger is, ironically. In his paint job, he's got a few decals. There's different shadings of the red, and the inner workings of the mechanisms are clearly painted black. Other than that, he is a top-heavy figure. He does, ironically, have more posability than Gypsy Danger. The problem is it's at a cost of, being able to stand, being able to, strike several poses. But it's still a nice figure to have around. Out of all of them, this is the one that I had the most complaints about. But even that, it's much like a Pixar film. Even their worst one is still pretty good. I would recommend this figure just to have if you wanted the complete set, definitely go ahead and jump in. But if not, if you just want, the main one, just grab the Kaiju knife head and grab Gypsy Danger.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on most of that. I couldn't see myself forking over the money to buy this one as a consumer. After having had the chance to play with this one and check it out, the posability really bothers me, because not only would I find it difficult to play with this one, unless he's going to be the one that just gets damaged, that's lying down all the time since I can't stand him up. He does look pretty, but $16 and I can't even stand up and pose the figure properly, or to set up like a nice little diorama display in my living room, on my coffee table, on my bookcase. I don't see me dropping that money for it. I do like the knife head figure. Even with the limited posability, it is a beautiful figure to have. The Gypsy Danger, awesome looking figure. This one, I might say it's a pass. All right.
I'd say go. George says pass. I say go with an asterisk of the fact that if you want the whole set, definitely get it.
Yeah, if you're a completist, by all means, it's still an awesome figure. It looks great. It's painted beautifully. It's sculpted beautifully. For me, the issue is posability.
And that's the word of a true toy man right there.
Yeah.
So George, for NECA's Pacific Rim figures, what would you grade these figures altogether as the set in whole?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5?
Yeah,
I would say the same thing. Price wise, pretty decent.
I think the price point is decent. The packaging is cool. The figures look cool. The thing that takes it away from it getting 5 stars is, for me, the posability of what's the name of that? The
Crimson Typhoon.
Of Crimson Typhoon. That's really the thing that takes it away. Because other than that, I've loved NECA toys. I think that they make good quality products. The price point's right, and as a collector, it's what I want.
Exactly.
Even if the posability is limited, if I can stand the figure, pose it to a degree, I'm happy to pay that $10 to $15 price point for me is fair.
It's the McFarlane School of Toy Making right there. Yeah.
So that's what kills it for me.
And again, they are highly durable. I mean, your two children did go take a round with these things, and they took a beating, and they held up fairly well.
Oh yeah,
so,
kid tested.
Yes,
most definitely. And I mean, we're talking an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Mm-hmm. So if you do so, if you're really thinking about getting those figures, highly recommend you go out and spend your hard-earned money on this. And it would always be something nice to have while when you walk in that theater on July 12th, sit down with your nice tub of popcorn, get your little Gypsy Danger there, and sit back and watch as giant robots and giant monsters beat the holy crap out of each other.
Absolutely.
So that's it for this week's Realm Toys. Tune in next time and see what other wonderful figures we'll be playing with.